Hey, good Tuesday afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and today we are talking about the plains weather, which is very, very active. The storms across Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas today, even up to Iowa is the big activity, the big topic of conversation today. But we also have some storms down into the Gulf states, so we'll talk about all of it. It's a rinse and repeat. What does that mean? It means that storms happen today, very similar tomorrow, very similar on Thursday, just rinse and repeat, and then do it again and do it again. We have a series of storms coming in today and tomorrow, so they mainly target the western side of Oklahoma and Texas, but we'll really keep an eye on it here and talk about those details every single day. Don't get complacent because it looks similar every day. Things could always change. Hey, speaking of changing, yesterday, outside of the risk, we had some storms up in South Dakota and Nebraska. And take a look at this little storm that could, or a line of storms really. As it came into Omaha, we had several reports of hail in this area. We actually had some roofers send in some of their hail reports out there out of Bennington, Nebraska. So we appreciate you guys tagging us in your hail pictures. You can always send us your hail pictures, and we always appreciate those reports. We've got some really good sizes in here, lots of hail with this storm, just a little over the size of an inch, just a little bit over the size of a quarter. There outside of Omaha, it's like the storm just seemed to target the city. So we'll see if we can do it again today. We do have a risk for Des Moines today, portions of Kansas, western Oklahoma, and western Texas as well. There's your setup right now. We have a front that's leading this line of storms out near the Gulf states. The biggest risk out here is going to be high wind and very small hail. I really think that if we see any hail in this area, it'll be the size of a quarter, maybe even smaller. That larger hail will come into Oklahoma and Texas. 75 degrees right now here in Oklahoma. It's gorgeous weather, tank top day today. 66 out in Denver, 49 in Billings. We've got some really nice weather through most of the plains right now. Temperatures are above average for this time of the year. That warm air will be moving off to the east tomorrow. Chicago and St. Louis in the path of temperatures warming up above average. Michigan looks nice and warm as well as we head into tomorrow and Thursday. Now taking a look at the risk for today. So let's just jump right into that storm forecast here. We have two areas that we're watching for, technically three, but I'm splitting it up into two right now. We've got the Gulf states down here all the way out to the East Coast. Pretty low chance for storms. Now, I'm going to take that back. Pretty low chance for severe weather, good chance for storms. So you're going to get that rain today, that lightning, that thunder. Could you see anything severe from this? Yes, it's possible. You could see up to that 65-mile-per-hour wind gust and some small hail. Tornado risk here, very, very low. Now there's a better chance for tornadoes as we get down into Texas, okay? So Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, all in that slight risk, that level 2 on a scale of 5, highlighted there in yellow. Storms today will be firing up into the afternoon hours. We're talking 3, 4, maybe 5 o'clock here. Those storms will fire up along a line. This is the dry line right here that stretches really anywhere from Wichita all the way out into the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas, straight through Lubbock, and then down to really hugging the Texas and New Mexico state line. Slowly, these storms will track to the east as we head into the late night hours. But once these storms move into more populated areas, they will start to fizzle out, okay? So it'll be after dark at this point. They lose a lot of their energy as we head into the late night hours. So here we are about 11 o'clock, storms coming or passing through Wichita before 11. Got the Oklahoma-Texas state line out in far western Oklahoma, the Clinton area. And storm stretch, I know that our radar doesn't show it, but it goes all the way down to this southern portion of Texas, so like San Angelo areas. Tomorrow, I told you it's a rinse and repeat, right? So we're going to have another chance for storms tomorrow. Very similar area here, anywhere from Omaha all the way down to Oklahoma City, Wichita, and into the western side of Texas. So it's a very similar setup for today as we're going to see tomorrow. We've got plenty of moisture over here, but you can see that clear divide between lots of moisture and just none at all. There's your dry line, okay? So it's setting up pretty clear here. It's not completely straight, but you can kind of see those wiggles in the dry line. That's exactly where storms are going to fire up today. It's a very, very well-defined dry line. Your significant hail model looks a lot more promising into Oklahoma and Texas, okay? Once you get farther up into northern Kansas and into Iowa, I think those hail sizes are going to go down. But Kansas looks really good. Oklahoma and even with the western side of Texas looks really good for that larger hail into the evening hours. So as we look at your hail forecast, that's exactly where I have the largest hailstones and the best chance for hail. So we've got that level 2 risk on here highlighted there in yellow. We consider that the moderate risk. Anywhere from Midland, Amarillo, all inside that level 2 risk for storms. What about your hail sizes? The farther north that you go, I think those hail sizes will get smaller. So in Wichita, low risk, but you could see up to golf ball size hail. Farther out to the south into those Gulf states and then into the East Coast, maybe if you're lucky, up to quarter size hail. But I think that you're going to have a very, very low chance for any hail at all today. That big risk, of course, will be farther out into the western sides of Oklahoma and Texas. One note here, yesterday Oklahoma City was included on that risk. They have now been taken out of the risk. Dallas also not included in that risk. And I think that the main reason for that is as these storms track into the central portions of each state here, they're going to lose a lot of their energy, a lot of that power. Now Wichita, it's a little bit different because storms hit you a bit earlier. Storms don't hit Oklahoma City or Dallas. If they even do hit, it'll be early tomorrow morning. So it's just not timing up correctly to hit those big cities. Still Amarillo, Wichita, San Angelo, all included in the risk there. What's your max forecasted hail size for today? 2-inch size hail, that's the size of a hen egg or right around the size of a lime. So I think that we could get larger than golf ball size hail today. I don't think that's out of the question. And a storm breakdown, because we did talk about the high wind and the hail risk. However, we do have a low risk for tornadoes as well. That's a level 1 on a scale of 5, so it's a low risk, but it's on the board, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. There's your wind risk for today. 65, 70 mile per hour wind gusts are definitely possible. And moving to that tornado risk, Midland and Fort Stockton, just to the south of Amarillo, all included in that risk highlighted in green. Again, it's a level 1. It's a low chance, but it's still on the board. Now let's go to, we're going to break down your risk for today, or your timeline for today. Storms out to the Gulf states, again, I'm showing it to you here. However, it's a pretty low chance for some high wind and quarter size hail. Really not too worried about the hazards out here. Now, if we go to Oklahoma and Texas, let's restart this radar and let's see those storms fire up. So this afternoon, I would say right around 4 to 5 o'clock, storms will be on the radar. Starting out to the west in Texas and in the west side of the panhandle here, but slowly they'll stretch farther up into places like Wichita and then into the western side of Oklahoma, south of Amarillo, San Angelo included in that risk as well. So there's your timeline. You can really start to see how they fizzle out, barely even getting into Oklahoma City by the early morning hours tomorrow. Dallas, you're going to have rain for your morning commute. However, the storm chance for tomorrow in Dallas is very low. Now let's talk about your storm risk for tomorrow. Let's talk about the timelines for Wednesday. Wednesday, it looks like storms are going to fire up once again, very similarly in the afternoon and evening hours. Yes, you do have a hail risk for tomorrow. Let's take a look at that significant hail model. Again, the darker the colors here, the larger those hail sizes. So I do once again have 2-inch size hail expected for Wednesday. Here we go, Wednesday morning into the afternoon. There's your slight risk highlighted there in yellow. It's going to be pretty isolated out in the western side of Texas. However, you do have a tornado risk with this as well. You can see storms firing right here on the west side of Texas, tracking once again into Oklahoma. A very similar setup for tomorrow as what we see today. More widespread coverage for storms up in the northern side of Kansas and southern side of Nebraska. Yes, Omaha is included in this risk, but you're on the fringe of the risk, just barely skimming you for tomorrow. Here's your risk for hail. I told you that I did up it to at least 2-inch sized hail, I think is possible for tomorrow. The most promising places to see those large hailstones, once again, Midland, Fort Stockton, San Angelo. Amarillo, you're going to see storms, but a lower chance for that large hail. Liberal, Wichita could also see large hail tomorrow. Lincoln, Nebraska, again, just on the fringe here, I think that there's going to be a lot of storms in this area, but the hail sizes, the more clustered those storms are, the hail sizes are going to go down. Alrighty, moving on here to your max forecasted hail size tomorrow. I told you we got that hen egg sized hail for tomorrow. A 2-incher is possible, but we don't stop there. It's not just a chance for storms today and tomorrow, but also another risk for Thursday as well. That highlighted there in yellow, and again, a very similar spot to what we're seeing right now. It's a rinse and repeat series of storms over and over and over. This dry line is working really hard out in the western side of Oklahoma and Texas here, really helping those storms to fire off. We don't have a risk for Friday yet. I bet we will. I bet we will have a risk. We just don't have it on the board quite yet. We're in a very active pattern, and we're going to stay in this active pattern here, where temperatures are likely to stay pretty warm, above average, and we have a really good chance to keep this moisture coming in and out. So for tomorrow, for today, temperatures are in the upper 70s, low 80s here in Oklahoma, 70s in Kansas City. Really, really nice tomorrow. Really, really nice today. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, now we're into tomorrow. Now we're into Wednesday. Temperatures are cooling down just a little bit throughout the plains, but warming up out into the Midwest. 72 on Thursday afternoon. That's gorgeous. Upper 60s, low 70s in Dallas. Thursday looks really nice. 50s in Denver. That's great weather. That's patio weather for Denver. We're still pretty warm down in our Gulf states as well. So not too many big changes in terms of temperatures here. I think that we will continue to see this active pattern just over and over and over. You're going to see several chances for storms over the next few weeks, I think. I'm not even going to say few days. I think few weeks is what we're watching for here. Hey, our extended temperature outlook finally goes into May. This is April 27th through May 1st. Again, I told you that it looks like we are staying above average in terms of temperatures and getting some rain in here. Absolutely. Look at all this moisture that's coming through by the end of this month. So yeah, it's safe to say we're still going to have storm risks, not only this week, but also next week as we head into the very beginning of May. It is that time of year where an active weather pattern, that does not surprise us at all. We prepare for this. Hey, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We post every single day, not just about your forecast, but also about fun things that we do at Hail Trace. Yesterday, we explained how the cap works on our YouTube channel. So head over there. We have how the cap works, how does an urban heat island factor into that, and we really, really focused on Dallas. So watch that video. It's a great explanation by our CEO, Derek Klein. And give us a call if you're interested in a wind, hail, or tornado map. We had those storms yesterday in Omaha. We have them mapped. It's up on hailtrace.com right now. But give us a call if you're interested in getting subscribed, 855-334-4245, or head over to our email, info@hailtrace.com. All right, thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow with your forecast. And if any storms fire up this evening, or when those storms fire up this evening, we'll also be live streaming it. All right, have a fantastic Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.